You've uncovered their needs. Now it's time to paint a picture of the future they desperately desire. But what if they push back? What if they say your vision is unrealistic, too hard to achieve, or simply just not worth the effort? Most salespeople try to logic their way out of these objections, throwing facts and figures, which rarely ignites a fire within your prospect. But what if you could use the emotional power of storytelling to address those doubts, ignite their imagination, and really make them need that future with every fiber of their being? I'm going to show you how to turn skeptics into believers and transform their lives. Hey, it's Drew Norton. Welcome back to the Everyday Sales Leader. We're continuing our objection handling journey within the Sales Inception framework. And today we're focusing on building the dream. Building the dream is where you paint a vivid and compelling picture of what's possible for your customer if they embrace your solution, addressing their core needs and desires. But as you paint the picture, you might encounter objections that are rooted in fear, doubt in themselves, concerns about the investment, or a lack of motivation. Your job is to proactively address these with the power of vision and narrative. Here's how building the dream intersects with our core objection categories. With needs, if you haven't fully convinced them of the need for change, they won't be inspired by your vision. Storytelling can solidify that need by showing them what they're missing. Trust. If they don't trust you or your ability to deliver, they won't believe your vision is attainable for them. Stories of credible others can bridge the gap. With price, if they don't see the value of the transformation, they'll balk at the investment. Stories can showcase the true ROI, both the tangible and the intangible. And with urgency, if they don't feel a sense of urgency, they're going to remain complacent. Stories can create a compelling why now. Here are some powerful storytelling strategies that proactively address these objections and guide them towards embracing the dream. So I like to view this first one as the hero's journey. And this is really to help with self-doubt, especially if they don't see the reasons they need something, if there's a lack of trust, and that trust isn't always in you. Sometimes the trust is in themselves. So we want to frame the customer as the hero of their own story, facing challenges and achieving a triumphant transformation with your solution as the guide. So this builds their belief in themselves and your ability to help them. So for example, you might say something like, hey, I have a client, his name is John. He was in a very similar situation as you, and he just felt trapped by whatever pain point is you might be selling. And he was doubting that he was ever going to achieve the goals he wanted in his business or in his life. But John made a courageous decision to take a leap of faith, and with our guidance, they achieved everything they were looking for in their business. You possess that same courage and potential within you. The next would be helping them create a narrative around overcoming actual obstacles. Once again, this will help resolve issues around trust and need. You can share stories of others who successfully navigated similar challenges, emphasizing the support and guidance you provide and showing the transformation is achievable. So for example, I understand that switching over to our service could be really daunting, and you might be worried about losing leads or losing clients along the way. But let me tell you about another client, XYZ company. They were initially overwhelmed by the thought of changing over the software program that they were using, but we provided them with all the support that was necessary and broke it down into easy, manageable steps that they could follow. And they were amazed how smoothly everything went. In fact, they said that they'd never had a easier experience moving from one solution to another. Next could be just painting a day in the life, painting a vivid and emotionally compelling picture of their ideal future, and show them how your solution that you offer seamlessly integrates in their life and solves their problems. And that it creates a strong need for that future and a sense of urgency to achieve it right now. And I love the language Imagine F. It's a great way to tell stories. So imagine waking up each day and feeling at peace, knowing that hiring new employees is no longer a problem. You're able to go out and golf in the morning and take care of your favorite activities before you get working that day, and you have more time and energy for what truly matters in your life. What would that level of freedom and fulfillment be worth to you? It's a great way to just imagine what their life could be when you solve their problem for them. Next is the cost of inaction. Being able to tell a cautionary tale to help them see the urgency and need to change right now. We want to use a story really to illustrate the negative consequences if they stay with the status quo. So we want to highlight really the pain of inaction and create a sense of urgency for change, while also reinforcing the need to move away from their current pain. For example, hey, I've seen other people in your situation who waited to move on this, and they thought prices won't increase that much. But a year later, they're the ones still struggling and paying the highest bills, and they could have saved thousands of dollars this last year or hundreds of dollars this last year, not just in money, but also in the stress, wasted time, the missed opportunities. We don't want that to happen to you. Another great story could be the ROI transformation. Really, once again, we're focusing on price or the need. So it could be showcasing the tangible and intangible results that come, and not just the results, but the return on the investment, and painting a picture of how your solution not only solves a problem, but also delivers a significant positive return. Hey, so let me tell you about John. They were initially hesitant to make an investment just like you, but within 3 months, they actually saw that it more than paid for itself, because they were actually putting money back in their pocket every day that was greater than the actual cost of getting started with us. But more importantly, they experienced a lot of unity inside their organization, which has been priceless for their business and their team. Sometimes it's the ROI from a price perspective. Sometimes it's the ROI emotionally that your product or service can bring someone. So let's see how these storytelling techniques work in practice, addressing our core objection categories. And remember, those are need, trust, urgency, and price. If the concern or the objection we're getting is, hey, I'm not sure if this is realistic for me, they don't really trust that we can get them the results, you might respond with something like, hey, I understand it might seem like a really big leap from where you are now, but let me tell you about so-and-so. Talk about one of your clients. They started out just like you, and they felt frustrated. They felt overworked, and they were worried about having enough time to get everything done in the day. But they embraced the vision, took action, and now they're living a completely transformed life, really achieving all the results they want in way less time. You have that same potential to rewrite your story. And this might sound like it's, hey, like I would never say this to somebody. And look, you can tone it back. And at the same time, a great way to change someone's mind is to tell a story of somebody else. You can tell them the facts without actually arguing with them about it. So maybe that next objection is, I'm worried about the implementation of this. It's going to be too time consuming, or we're worried about the problems that could come in implementing a new solution. So, hey, that's a valid concern. Change can be very challenging. And I really appreciate you telling me that. In fact, one of my clients, their name XYZ company, they had the same worries. They were specifically concerned about, and you tell them whatever challenge they were worried about, right? But we provided all the guidance they needed to make that switch. And we held their hand every step of the way. And they were just amazed at how smoothly everything went. In fact, they said that they've never worked with a support team like ours before. Another objection might be, you know what, look, we're kind of good where things are right now. Like, things are okay. We'd rather not shake things up because things are actually in a good position right now. So I might respond with, yeah, totally respect that. But let me just paint you a picture of what things could look like a year from now if you keep running things the same way you are right now. And then you go on to describe a vivid description of their ideal future and really emphasize the emotional benefits that would come from working with you. Let's say you're just selling a home service, right? Hey, imagine a year from now, or imagine this summer when it's hot and it's 110 degrees. I live in Arizona, not having to go outside and spend hours cleaning the pool, doing the pest control, power spraying to clean things off, whatever that could be. And how would it feel compared to what it was like this last summer when you had to do all that work yourself? What does it cost you mentally and emotionally when you have to go do that every day and take the time you could be spending with your family to do something else? So there's a lot of ways we can tell stories by talking about what their future could look like if they don't move forward. Cost is often a big concern, right? Price, the value. Hey, if that's what they tell us, hey, I just don't know if I can afford this right now, or I just don't know if I could justify paying this much for what you do. Totally get it. Like, the investment is definitely a consideration. But let me tell you about one of your neighbors down the street, John. They were hesitant about the price too. And they quickly realized that the real cost was continuing to have to do this themselves. Because not only did it cost them their time, it cost them their money, it cost them their Saturdays. By investing in this, they not only solved that problem, but they also were telling me that they've been able to go and do more with their families on the weekends than they were in the past, and which really has made it a no-brainer for them. To make your stories truly impactful and address these core objections, remember, these elements. Relatability, okay? Make sure the customer can see themselves in the story, feeling a connection to the characters and their journey. We want to make it relatable. We want them to see someone who is in their shoes, who's did what you're offering for them to do now. Next is we want to have some emotional resonance. Like we want to evoke feelings that align with your goals, hopes, excitements, relief to really draw them in, or sometimes to even touch some fears or pains that they might have. We want to talk about emotions that will connect. We also want to be very specific. We want to use vivid details. We want to talk about things that could be heard, things that could be seen, things that could be felt, quantifiable results, and really make that story come alive and feel real. We want to be authentic, be genuine, be passionate in your delivery. Your conviction will really fuel their belief. So by mastering the art of storytelling and strategically applying it to address need, trust, price, and urgency, you can transform objections into powerful opportunities to inspire your customers and guide them towards a brighter future. In the next video, we'll move on to the reality check and learn how to address any lingering doubts by using logic, data, and gentle confrontation with the cost of inaction. So subscribe to the Everyday Sales Leader, hit the notification bell, and join the community in the notes below, and leave a comment. What's your favorite story to tell that inspires your customers to help them overcome a specific objection? Share those below. Thanks again for watching, and remember, selling is life.